Today, at the dawn of the 20th century, we are unlocking the secrets of the universe. By understanding both religion and science, we may arrive to a consensus on the creation of the world as we see it. Intelligent design versus evolution is perhaps the most crucial question, which needs to be answered. Can the Big Bang Theory withstand the criticisms of Christians who believe that it contradicts the creation account in the book of Genesis? Can religion stand up to the progress of science? Let's find out.
In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day.
Where the biblical version of the beginning of the universe calls upon an inner deep faith, the scientific version is more of a theorized attempt based on mathematical theory and models. The Big Bang Theory is the recognized explanation amongst scientists and scholars. Because current instruments don't allow astronomers to peer back at the universe's birth, much of what we understand about the Big Bang Theory comes from speculation.
Our universe is thought to have begun as an infinitely small, infinitely hot, infinitely dense something. After its initial appearance, it inflated, expanded and cooled, going from very, very small and very, very hot, to the size and temperature of our current universe. It continues to expand and cool to this day, and we are inside of it. Incredible creatures living on a unique planet, circling a beautiful star clustered together with several 100 billion other stars in a galaxy soaring through the cosmos. All of which is inside of an expanding universe that began as an infinitesimal singularity which appeared out of nowhere for reasons unknown. This is the Big Bang Theory.
The scriptures are often pointed by believers as evidence of the Creator, and therefore evidence of the biblical beginning of the universe. However, the scriptures have been tampered with in many ways and can only be used as a reference. There is yet a very significant amount of evidence pointing out to a Creator. This is known as NDE, or near-death experience.
The NDE phenomena brings us accounts that can be found in humankind's earliest writings, including the Bible, Plato's dialogues, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The NDE experience is the same all over the world. Whether it's a near-death experience of a Hindu in India, a Muslim in Egypt, or a Christian in the United States, the same core elements are present in all, including out-of-body experience, tunnel experience, feelings of peace, beings of light, a life review, reluctance to return, and transformation after the NDE. In short, the experience of dying appears similar among all humans, no matter where they live.
I'm a cardiologist, so I had the privilege to have a lot of patients who survived cardiac arrest. That is how it started for me. So when I started to ask patients the question if they could remember something from the period of unconsciousness, from clinical death, to my big surprise, there were quite a lot of patients who had this experience, what is called now a near-death experience, which is an enhanced consciousness with self-identity, with cognition, with emotions, with memories from early childhood, with future events, with the meeting of deceased relatives, or experience a tunnel or a light life review, or even the possibility of having perception out and above the lifeless body. So for me, what I had learned, it is impossible to experience consciousness when the brain is not functioning. So it was the scientific curiosity that we started a study in '88 in Holland with a total of 344 consecutive patients who survived a cardiac arrest. And 18% of those patients reported a near-death experience with all the classical elements we know. And then we wanted to know if there was an explanation for the cause and content of this exceptional experiences in consciousness. And to our big surprise, we found that when we compared the group of 18% who reported a near-death experience and compared it with a group of 82% who did not have memories of this period of unconsciousness, there was no difference at all. So the duration of a cardiac arrest, 2 minutes or 8 minutes, or the duration of unconsciousness, 5 minutes or 3 weeks in coma, or the given medication, or foreknowledge that you know that these kinds of experiences are possible, or fear of death, so psychological causes, or religion, education, gender. It didn't make any difference. So the important conclusion was that it is a mystery why those patients experience an enhanced consciousness during cardiac arrest. And this was important because there had been so many theories based on retrospective studies that this experience should be caused by lack of oxygen to the brain, or that just were hallucinations, or side effects of drugs, or just trying to be interesting or something. Just they made up stories. And we could prove for the first time, this is still the largest study ever done, prospective study on near-death experiences, that there is no physiological or psychological or pharmacological explanation for the study. And the second part of the study we did was a longitudinal study. That is interviews after 2 years and 8 years of all those patients who survived a cardiac arrest who had a near-death experience, with a matched control group of patients who survived a cardiac arrest but did not have any memories. And we did it because people tell that they change. And this is the kind of objective aspect of this subjective experience. And we wanted to know if this transformation of those patients was due to the cardiac arrest itself or due to the near-death experience. And what we found that there was a specific transformation only for patients who have a near-death experience. They lose the fear of death. There's was no death. I was still there. They have a new insight in what is important in life. It's about love. It's about acceptance. First to start with your own negative aspects, which is hard enough, and then love, unconditional love towards others and to planet Earth. And the third aspect of transformation is to enhance intuitive sensibility, which you can call the non-local information exchange. They have instantaneously contact with the feelings of other people. They know future events. They know when someone will die. And it is so hard to accept this kind of information which you receive not by your senses and not by your body. It's the non-local information. And so the essence, what we learned from these studies of near-death, which was published in The Lancet in 2001, it's one of the most important medical journals, that people experiencing consciousness in a dimension where time and place and space play no role anymore. Everything is there. The past, the present and the future is enclosed in this dimension of consciousness. And in the dimension is unconditional love and wisdom.
The near-death experience memories have been proven to be real memories through studies using hypnosis. The conclusions of such studies show that near-death experience memories are stored as episodic memories of events experienced in a peculiar state of consciousness. So, near-death experiences can scientifically be proven, which is leading many scientists to start considering the possibility of a creator. The near-death experience phenomenon is indeed significant evidence that goes beyond science's understanding, and thus, many are the scientists and researchers around the world studying this phenomenon. In parallel, science claims to have several main pieces of evidence that support the Big Bang theory. One is the fact that the universe is expanding, proven with something called redshift, or, in other words, light traveling to Earth from other galaxies. The second is something called cosmic microwave background radiation, which is literally the remnant heat left over from the Big Bang. NASA represents the main body of expertise in the science of the outer space. They have provided us with pictures of our planet, and keep bringing us images of the outer space which prove the theory of the Big Bang. But how sure can we be that this is real evidence of the universe's creation?
We are reviewing telemetric information reserve in simulator and will advise. Roger, Tranquility, we copy that. We cannot believe you are on the fucking moon. Repeat, cannot fucking believe it, over. The moon, for Christ's sake. The moon. Over. You're cleared to hook up lunar equipment conveyor to walk on the moon. Over. I'm descending the ladder. See the Earth. Entire planet Earth. Love of Christ. We read you, Tranquility, over. On the bottom rung of the ladder. Just one more step and I'm... Tranquility? Holy living fuck. Are you fucking believing this, over? We read you, over.
Then when the air vibrates your eardrum, you hear what I'm saying. But maybe you've seen a demonstration of a bell under a glass jar. With normal air inside the jar, you could hear the bell clearly. But when the vacuum pump drew the air out of the jar, there was nothing inside to carry the vibrations of the bell.
If we are being lied about the space, what else could they be lying about? In the second part of this documentary, we will explore the various theories around the lies that NASA and the governments are feeding us with. And we will deeply study the NDE stories that could lead us to a final conclusion on this argument.